It is indeed a privilege to greet you at this inaugural function of the very significant International Conference on Science and Jain Philosophy. This is being organized by Bhagavan Mahavira International Research Center and the Jain Vishwabharati Institute, which is a deemed university at Rajasthan. In this endeavor, we have been collaborating with academic landmarks of this country, IIT Bombay, which are also hosting this conference in this beautiful campus, and the University of Mumbai. Knowledge partner is from New Delhi, the Center for Science and Pursuit of Knowledge. And we are indeed happy that all of you have gathered here in this quest for knowledge. And the focus is on Jain philosophy. As all of us know, Jain darshan or Jain philosophy is an invaluable inheritance of mankind. It is not only the oldest philosophy, but it is a complete philosophy. And therefore, there is a lot of science, a lot of metaphysics, a lot of ecology, a lot of well-being of mankind and the world which get reflected in the Jain philosophy. And therefore, when we are seeking answers for a better world, when we are seeking answers for various conflicts, we cannot be compartmentalized and only concentrate on science or philosophy. So this is a bringing together of science and spirituality, and hence a significance. This conference is also enriched by the presence of people who are drawn from various parts of the world. Please put your hands together for Dr. Jeffrey Long, all the way from Pennsylvania University. Seeking the blessings of the divine, ladies and gentlemen, let us begin this inaugural program with Namaskar Mahamantra, rendered by Sri Muni Mahendra Kumarji, which will be followed by Mahavir Stuti by Arihan Jain, who is a research scholar of University of Bombay, and this will be followed by JVBI Anthem, which will be played in a recorded form.
Namo वर्तमान जिन शासन नायक भगवान महावीर भगवान की स्तुति। कृपया सभी एकाग्रचित होकर बैठ जाएं, भगवान का स्मरण करें। यदि ये चैतन्ये मुकुर एव भावाश्चिदचिता समं भान्ति द्रव्य व्ययजनिलसन्तोऽन्तरहिता जगत् साक्षी मार्ग प्रकटन परो भानुरिवयो महावीर स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे अताम्रं यच्चक्षुः कमलयुगलं स्पन्दरहितं जनान् कोपापायं प्रकटयति वाभ्यन्तरमपि स्फुटं मूर्तिर्यस्य प्रशमितमयि वाति विमला महावीर स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे महावीर स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे।
जैन विश्व भारती संस्थान, जैन विश्व भारती संस्थान मानव मूल्यों का है उत्थान, आचरण में गूंजे ज्ञान। जैन विश्व भारती संस्थान। प्राच्य विद्या आराधना, सेवा शोध की साधना। प्राच्य विद्या आराधना, सेवा शोध की साधना। संस्कार सुरक्षा इसकी शान, जैन विश्व भारती संस्थान। शिक्षा में जीवन विज्ञान, अहिंसा और प्रेक्षा ध्यान, तुलसी महाप्रज्ञ वरदान। जैन विश्व भारती संस्थान। नारी शिक्षा का है सपना, कला साहित्य सर्जना। महाश्रमण युग भरे उड़ान, जैन विश्व भारती संस्थान। जैन विश्व भारती संस्थान, जैन विश्व भारती संस्थान, जैन विश्व भारती संस्थान।
May we request Samani Charitra Pragya, Vice Chancellor of JBVI, to give the welcome address.
To welcome all the great eminent scientists, dignitaries, justice, and also those who are coming all the way from all different parts of the world, country, and it's great honor to have in the collaboration of IIT Mumbai and University of Mumbai and all other things to work with for a specific purpose for an international conference on science and children philosophy. I just want to welcome with the name of each dignitaries on the dais. The keynote speaker and great honor, Padma Bhushan Justice Dalwil Bhandari, the International Court of Justice, Hague, the Netherlands. Honorable Dr. Harshvardhanji, the Minister of Science and Technology and Department of Earth Science, Government of India. Shri Prakash Mehta, the Ministry of Industries, Government of Maharashtra. Our international dignitaries, Dr. Jeffrey Long, State University, Pennsylvania from USA. Professor Akaska, Kyoto University from Japan. Dr. Parthasarthi, the HOD, the Department of Humanities and Social Science, IIT Mumbai. Dr. K.P. Mishra, the chairman of this conference. And other dignitaries on the dais. Samni Chaitanya Pragyaji, she's the director of this Bhagwan Mahavir International Conference. And all the dignitaries of the dais, the eminent speakers, the delegates, the scientists, and the scholars coming from all the different parts of the world. I was just thinking about why this vision has come through for an international conference to be organized on science and Jain philosophy. It's really interesting to know about science has its own way to experiment and they put the facts in form of scientific facts and scientific truths in the way which people can understand in a logical consideration way. So what's the role of the spirituality then? How should we connect with the spirituality? From that perspective, if we try to understand, without science, spirituality doesn't make any kind of impact on people's mind, heart, and brain. And then without spirituality, the science can improve the standard of the life, but not the quality of the life. So that's the importance in between, to have a synthesis of science and spirituality. That's the dire need of this modern world and whatever the research we go through. Whenever we just talk to all walks of the life and different forms of the life, actually what we are pursuing through, what we are looking for, what we are seeking through, just spending hours and days and throughout our whole life. Ultimately, if we have a bliss and peace of mind, then we can say that really I had a very satisfactory life, a very productive, with great purpose, and also bringing a lot of results with our quality of the life. But if that is missing, the core factor which is missing from our point of life, then it makes a different kind of impact, and the life itself becomes very chaotic and brings up a lot of problems which are nowhere to find out the solution. So I think this conference, with a great purpose, with a great objective, the Jain Vishwabharati Institute, it's a deemed university working for the last 25 years, specifically for humanities, social science, oriental studies, language and literature, education, and value-based education is the most core point of this university. I think the IIT has given us this opportunity and real honor for us to work with them and provided all these facilities, and I welcome all the donors, all the sponsors, or the delegates. Really, it's a great pleasurable moment for me today to welcome you all, and I hope that all the best this 3 days conference will bring up a kind of a roadmap, a kind of a channel, a kind of a strategy which can work for the future and bring out the positive results to make our mind, body, soul, and consciousness to be connected with each other. And the results will be for ecological solution, environmental solutions, social solutions, maybe solutions for any problems related to anyone. And ultimately, we can make our planet as a sustainable development planet. And that's what we are looking for. So once again, thankful to all and welcome you all on behalf of Jain Vishwabharati Institute, Om Arham.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, this international conference has been made possible also with the collaboration with IIT Bombay. May I request Professor D. Parthasarathi, Head of the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, IIT, to extend his welcome to the audience.
Thank you. On behalf of the Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, and on behalf of the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, IIT Bombay, let me extend a warm and hearty welcome to everyone here on the dais and in the audience. It's a great pleasure to have you all here for this international conference on science and Jain philosophy. Professor Mishra, as well as the Chancellor and Vice Chancellor of the Jain Vishwabharati University, approached us a few months ago, and I'm aware of the enormous amount of effort that has been put in organizing this conference. One of the most important contributions of Jain philosophy to world philosophy has been the concept of Anekantavad. And this institute is perhaps an excellent example of how we can practice Anekantavad in many different ways, and I'll just cite two. One is, of course, the diversity of disciplines and subjects and specializations that we have in this institute. As you all probably know, the IITs were set up by the then government headed by Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru to contribute to nation building activities by teaching and doing research in broad technology related issues, which will contribute to the overall development of the country. And IIT Bombay was among the first to be set up along with other IITs. And from the very beginning, all the IITs chose not to focus purely on technology, but also had departments of humanities and social sciences, which had disciplines ranging from philosophy and literature to sociology, psychology, economics, and many other disciplines. So the vision of the IITs has always been holistic. It has always been to encourage students to learn from different perspectives and not to develop very narrow visions of engineering. Our own department, the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, therefore, offers courses not only to undergraduate and postgraduate engineering students, but we also have our own PhD programs in the different disciplines. And some years ago, we also started a new center for the study of Indian science and technology in Sanskrit, which deals with many of the themes that are going to be deliberated in this particular conference. We also have a flagship program, an MPhil program in development and planning, which contributes to, in terms of generating skills in areas related to many different aspects of development. And our students go on to work with NGOs, with development think tanks, and of course, in academia. The second kind of Anekantavad that you will see on this campus is the way in which we live in harmony with many other beings. So on this campus, occasionally you are likely to run into a crocodile or a leopard. Of course, you'll see lots of monkeys and birds. You'll see a lot of species of plants, fauna and flora. And of course, in addition to the usual things we see on Indian streets, dogs and cows and bulls and buffaloes and so on. So we are a living example of how we can live with many different species and still contribute significantly to scholarship. But beyond this, I think the concept of Anekantavad is something that is especially of importance in the current world. It's always been of importance to scholars in urging us to do two things. One is to understand that everything that we study has many perspectives, but also to give us humility by introducing us to the concept of the uncertainty of knowing. In today's world of climate change, in today's world where there are many risks coming from so many different kinds of disasters, we are more and more feeling that the older ways of knowing that is inherent to modern science have to be transformed and changed. The other day I was reading this article by William White, who is a professor of chemical geology in Cornell University, where he used the concept of Anekantavad to understand the Earth's crust, and he was suggesting that existing perspectives on understanding the planet Earth from physics, from geology, from chemistry, from paleontology, and so on, are inadequate in themselves because each of them only understand the Earth from a particular narrow perspective. Whereas he was saying, by bringing together all these different perspectives, we develop a much better understanding of the planet Earth. So that is the kind of understanding that we are seeking today, because the world is becoming more and more uncertain. Existing science is unable to adequately help us both explain the phenomena and come up with solutions to these problems. And therefore, it is all the more important that we be humble, that we do not take on the arrogance of, on the one hand, modern science, which assumes to know everything and may end up creating problems. On the other hand, there is also the arrogance of different forms of fundamentalisms, which also claims to know everything, and both want to convert everyone to one particular perspective. Therefore, Anekantavad is important for us because it gives us that humility of knowing that we don't know everything, of the need to know things from many different perspectives, and therefore using that knowledge from philosophy and science, from all the different disciplines, to ensure that we can make things better for ourselves. So once again, I welcome you all to this conference. I wish all success to the organizers of the conference. We are very happy to host and support this event here at IIT Bombay to bring together philosophy and science. And I hope that through all the technical sessions in the rest of the 3 days that are available to you, all of us gain in knowledge in many different ways. Thank you and welcome once again.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a recorded message by Acharya Shri Mahashriman, who is a spiritual mentor of JVBI. May we have the message, please?
पन्नगे च सुरेंद्रे च कौशिके पाद संस्पृशि निर्विशेष मनस्काय श्री वीरस्वामिने नमः। हमारी दुनिया में अध्यात्म का मूल्य है। अध्यात्म वह तत्व है जिसके द्वारा मोक्ष की प्राप्ति हो सकती है। अध्यात्म का तो महत्व है ही, परंतु हमारी दुनिया में विज्ञान भी महत्वपूर्ण है। अध्यात्म के क्षेत्र में भी सत्य की प्राप्ति की जाती है और विज्ञान भी सत्य अनुसंधान का प्रयास करता है। सत्य की खोज के संदर्भ में अध्यात्म और विज्ञान दोनों में कुछ समानता दृष्टिगोचर होती है। सत्य खोज की प्रक्रिया प्रणाली में भिन्नता हो सकती है, पर वो गंतव्य बिंदु, प्राप्तव्य बिंदु दोनों का कुछ अंशों में या पूर्णांश में एक है, ऐसा प्रतीत होता है। दोनों में अंतर भी है। अध्यात्म के जगत में जहाँ मोक्ष का लक्ष्य होता है, राग द्वेष मुक्ति की साधना करणीय होती है, सम्यक दर्शन, सम्यक ज्ञान, सम्यक चारित्र की आराधना की जाती है, ये बातें विज्ञान के संदर्भ में प्रायः नहीं भी हो सकती हैं। तो दोनों में असमानता भी है। जैन दर्शन में अनेक बातें ऐसी प्राप्त हो सकती हैं जो विज्ञान की सहायता कर सकती हैं। तो विज्ञान में अनेक बातें ऐसी हो सकती हैं जो जैन दर्शन के सिद्धांतों को समझाने में सहायता कर सकती हैं। अगर जैन दर्शन और विज्ञान दोनों का तुलनात्मक अध्ययन हो तो कुछ अच्छी निष्पत्ति आने की संभावना है। मुंबई में भगवान महावीर अंतरराष्ट्रीय अनुसंधान केंद्र जैन विश्व भारती संस्थान लाडनू द्वारा विज्ञान और जैन दर्शन पर अंतरराष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन समायोज्य है। अपने आप में एक महत्वपूर्ण प्रसंग है। कितने समय से इस सम्मेलन की सफलता के लिए श्रम किया जा रहा होगा, और यह भी एक अच्छा संयोग है। हमारे धर्म संघ के एक वरिष्ठ मुनिप्रवर, बहुश्रुत परिषद के सम्मान्य सदस्य मुनिश्री महेंद्र कुमार जी स्वामी का प्रवास भी मुंबई में हो रहा है। मुनिश्री स्वयं विज्ञान और जैन दर्शन के विद्वान हैं, आगम मनीषी हैं, तो उनकी सन्निधि भी अपने आप में बहुत महत्वपूर्ण मानी जा सकती है। हम लोग बहुत दूर हैं। नेपाल चतुर्मास के बाद अब हम बिहार प्रांत में विहार कर रहे हैं। हम यहीं से अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन की सफलता के लिए मंगल कामना करते हैं और इस सम्मेलन में जो संभागी बन रहे हैं वे व्यक्ति आगे भी ऐसे सत्कार्य में अपना सहयोग यथासंभव यथा औचित्य प्रदान करते रहें, ऐसी प्रेरणा भी प्रदान कर रहे हैं। ओम अरहम।
Ladies and gentlemen, what you see this morning is the fruition of the work of a team, tireless, selfless, hard work put in by a team to ensure that this international conference sees the light of the day. Leading the team is the chairman and director of this conference, Dr. K.P. Mishra. Dr. K.P. Mishra was a former senior scientist and head of the group of the Bhabha Atomic Research Center. He was a former vice chancellor of Nehru Gram Bharati University, Allahabad, and it is our privilege to listen to him to talk about this conference. Dr. Mishra.
President of this function, Shri B.R. Bhandari ji, Chancellor of Jain Vishwabharati University, Reverend Professor Muni Shri Mahendra Kumar ji, who is sitting on the dais as a source of inspiration to all of us, Mr. Justice Dalveer Bhandari from the International Court of Justice, Hague, Netherlands. On the dais, we have Professor Jeffrey Long from California, United States, Professor Akasaka from University of Kyoto, Japan, Vice Chancellor of Jain Vishwabharati Institute, Samni Charitraji, Head of the Department and Executive Director of Bhagwan Mahavir International Research Center, Samni Chaitanya Pragya ji, Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Harshvardhan ji, representing the Dalai Lama Foundation, Shri Rajiv Mehrotra ji, from IIT Professor G. Parthasarthi, sitting in the audience, respected munis, respected saints, sages, all Samnijis sitting here in the audience, invited guests, press, dear colleagues from the Advisory Council, Board of Management, JVB Institute President Shri Nukherjee sitting here, all invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. From the dais, we have just heard that this is a very momentous occasion that we are gathering here at Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay. In many sense, in many ways, different ways of looking at things. When you look at science and spirituality, which is the main theme of this international conference, to me, it looks highly topical and important. As was said by Professor Parthasarthi just now, we are in age of science and technology. Our aim is to discover truth.